School for tonight's soccer game between the Mansfield High School Hornets and our guests from King Philip High School. Participating student athletes, coaches, and contest officials have worked diligently to prepare for today's competition. At this time, we'd like to ask the coaches to send their starting lineups onto the field so we can announce our starting lineups for tonight's game. Starting for King Philip, Cole Breen, Taj Keller, Alex Leon, Aiden Lindmark, Evan McAvoy, AJ Olson, Connor O'Neill, Colin Wesley, Anthony Zapala, Stephen Griffin, and Dan Fiffle. They are coached by Coach Mike O'Neill. For the Mansfield Hornets, Eric Sullivan, Ethan Scholes, Aiden Steele, Michael Jeans, Tommy Lanzillo, Dylan Buchanan, Evan Eames, Dan Rowe, Colin True, Mike Caridi, Matt Hyland, and they are coached by Steve Sheridan.
Welcome to the home opener of the 2021 Boys Hornets soccer season. We are underway. Mansfield starting out against King Philip this afternoon in a season that will be a little different than most, but I know that all the players and coaches are happy to be out running around on the field, no question. Soccer is soccer, even if the rules are a little bit different, but we'll go over some of those in just a minute so everybody watching can understand how things are going to look a little bit different on the field this year.
Tim, you up on the clock, there's no one over there.
So we had the starters announced nicely, and they were absolutely always, as usual, happy to hear all their names, get them pumped up and get started. So this is one of the first things you're going to see is that when the ball is over the touchline, you're going to see the ball kicked in instead of thrown in. One of the things the MIA decided to do was try and minimize heading to try and avoid close contact for players. So let's see what Mansfield comes out with here in the opening moments of the season. There should be a little more emphasis on ball control on the ground. Highland steps up there and intercepts that. Nice defensive positioning there by Caridi. But King Philip trying to work the ball through the midfield. So we got Dylan up top and Aiden working with him at forwards. There's an opportunity from Highland forward to Dylan. Just up over his boot there. So players adjusting. Scrimmage against Milford last week was the first time players had been out, a lot of players, for months in some cases because limited opportunities to play in a game situation. Here's ball in front. Opportunity. And that looks like Aiden had a chance to get a left foot on it but put it up over the bar. Good work in front, though. Quick touch and a quick shot. That's what we need. Let's see if Mansfield can keep the shape defensively. There's a mistake through the middle of the field. Dylan can't quite capitalize on that. Matt Highland pressuring that ball. That's good control from King Philip, bringing it back under possession. Ethan steps up nicely, intercepting that. Good read. Dylan, good coverage back. Disrupts that play. So defense makes offense. Doesn't matter what sport you're in. That's the case. So far, it looks like good defensive energy. Evan adjusting to that high bouncing ball. Normally, you'd be able to head that away, but he had to use a shoulder there, as you could tell. Different set of skills in some cases this year. Ethan, good job pushing through this. Excellent control and composure there. Tommy sees the switch And that's going to run through. Just barely. Highland, Matt almost got to that. King Philip, strong, experienced team. A lot of mostly seniors and some juniors on their roster. Mansfield returning a bunch of starting players from last year. So this is an experienced varsity group out here this afternoon. Referees, absolutely this year, having to also adjust how they're going to call the game. There's going to be plenty of dialogue with players, I'm sure, talking to players about safe play given the rules for masks. King Philip able to gain possession here on their middle third of the field. So Mansfield adjusting well, keeping their shape. The other thing that's happening this year is that we are using the quarter system. So 4 20-minute periods, which is a little unusual. Normally 40-minute halves, of course. But that does create some opportunities from a coaching perspective. You can make adjustments in different ways when you've got a stoppage like that. The other significant change is that you can't have a wall. I'm not as clear on the reasoning or the rationale for that one, but you'll see that you cannot set up defensively for a set piece like you would normally see in most seasons, or in any season. There's a ball up in the air. You can see players need to wait for it to come down. Dylan pressuring that. Bouncing around, we got a whistle. Here's some good conversation out there on the field. I don't know if you can pick that up through my mic, but got a lot of conversation happening defensively forward on the field. That's good. More communication, the better. Looks like Evan's going to let that one roll out, and he does. And referee saw it the other way. Coach can't believe it. So our players didn't think it was King Philip, but that's the way it's going. That ball chipped through the middle, and Eric's going to be right on top of that. Let's see if we can separate, spread the field a little bit. Get some ball control in the middle third. King Philip first to that. Danny Rowe, good pressure there on the ball. Turn it for a transition there. Dylan working hard. Little touch, there you go. Nice, simple control pass back. Beautiful. Keep possession for the team. That's the key thing. Nice cut through into space for Ethan. Just a little bit heavy on that touch. Still working that left side of the field. Here comes some runners. He's going to see him potentially. Oh, great stick right there, and a good overlap. And off the shoulder. Good work there from, that would be Michael, I'm pretty sure, in the middle. Do a little roster check here. Yes, Michael playing stopper. Tommy getting in the mix there a little bit. Hasn't had too many touches in the opening minutes here, but knocks that ball back. Now forward up to Dylan coming down the right flank. Let's see if he can get past both of these players. He's got the speed for sure. And looks like we got a call going our way. I was looking at the roster, didn't quite see what happened there, but the referee spotted a foul. So let's see what we can do with this. Again, difficult situation here. Different kind of approach. You can't head the ball on a cross. So it'll be interesting to see what coaches worked on the team with, how they're going to handle this. Going to put it up in the air and looking for a volley. Some kind of a shoulder there. Matt Highland comes back to Ethan. He chips it forward. Another shoulder. Ethan could potentially get one off. Not quite. I think he saw that yellow line and he was thinking I was going to take a shot. This ball now forward on the counter from King Philip. But Mansfield back. We had numbers. It was two white shirts and 5 green shirts. So that was Good recovery from the Mansfield defense. Quick restart there from King Philip. And Sully's out there to grab that early in the corner of the box. Good heads-up play, shut that thing down. And here comes some distribution. Goalie punting the ball is not going to be effective, as effective this year. So that's why you're starting to see some overhand throws for distributing the ball. King Philip pushing through the midfield under control. Dylan's going to turn on that, try and take some space. Puts it ahead for Aiden. And Aiden's deceptively quick. He's got a first step and then some acceleration. So I think that central defender is going to figure that out pretty soon. Tommy using his body here to control. Ethan steps up, knocks it ahead. Yeah, it's tough to judge these in between hops when they're coming head high. What do you do with them? So what Tommy was doing before, where you turn your body and rotate and shield the ball as it comes down, that's probably the technique that works a good part of the time. When that ball's up shoulder high or head high. Good distribution there from Michael over to Matty Highland, thinking ahead of time, already moving to that space. That's well done. Forward, up. King Philip defender steps in, and that was close, but they're going to call it out for Mansfield. So just approaching halfway through this first period, 10 minutes in, first game of the season. We are 0-0, and a little bit of rain coming down now. We had a sprinkle right during the opening moments, got the field wet. That speeds things up. And looks like we're getting a little bit of a drizzle right now. Another good step from Michael Caridi. Good read on that play. Tommy's going to, nicely done, jumps in here and chests that ball forward. Little give and go from Danny back to Tommy, but just a little too much lead on that one. Good combination play, though. Seen some of that so far in the opening moments here. That last combination with Michael clearing to space and Matt Highland coming back. This little 1-2 with Danny and Tommy. That's what we need. That's how you keep control as a team. There you go, just like this. Knock it back, and I was going to say swing it around, but Evan saw Danny, left him unmarked. Ahead to Dylan. Dylan's going to be able to turn. He's going to try and get around the corner. He does. This is a good opportunity. Oh, that's tough. Boy, there's a good example. Normally that would be a head ball driven right into the net, and you can't do it this year. He's got to wait for that to come down and try and volley that, and that is a difficult finish. But that's good combination work. Good pressure. Now Mansfield seeming to get the benefit here of the flow of the game. Pressuring higher and higher now. The defensive stops are closer to King Philip's midfield, or our midfield. It's a good sign. No, that's a good little bit of skill right there. Good turn with some pace. We've got to watch out for number 8 in the future. That's a good release. And this is going to be a shot, and that's, oh, nicely done. Eric had it covered, but that was not too far over the bar. So that's a combination we've got to watch out for. Then defense needs to be heads up on 8 and 9. So here we go. Here's another different looking corner kick. And it looks like somebody, oh, I thought it was a mask, but it's a shin guard. So it wasn't that someone was missing a mask, someone was missing a shin guard. So that's been taken care of. Looks like Danny Rowe's going to claim that, put it back into place. And here we go, corner kick, very different. Still in the air across the box there. I have not seen as many shoulder balls in my entire career of playing soccer or watching soccer as we've seen already in the first 10 minutes here. That's apparently going to be a feature of this year's play, and maybe we'll get some shoulder goals. That would be unusual. And clearly the referees know that they're going to let some of that. Sometimes you'd get that called as a handball potentially, depending on where it hits your shoulder. But I bet this year they've already talked about letting some of that go. Otherwise, you're going to have set piece, and fouls called left and right. All right, King Philip knocking around a little bit. Mansfield pushing up, pressuring a little higher. Dillon chasing that one down. And it's a nice little touch from Colin, releasing out to Matt Hyland, who's pressuring, but King Philip knocks that away. Active midfield from both teams. Intercepting, reading, shutting things down. And Ethan covers that, and looks like that's going to be, looks like Mansfield. Mansfield restart. All right, so here we go. Evan decides to knock that one long. Good little touch from Dillon. Good control there. Knocks that back. That is a head ball that they decided not to call. And some conversation. Evan, the best he can with that, trying to chest that one forward. Number 9 feeds it ahead and tries to turn. That's a tough turn. Very difficult to turn more than 180 degrees like that. So neither team really having a great opportunity. Mansfield has had a couple good service into the box, but couldn't convert. That ball driven forward. Matt knocks that into Colin. Got a ball on the field. That's cleared away, and here comes Aiden. Oh, boy, he almost had that one. 22 just barely got a heel on that to pull it back. And that was a good distribution, but underneath the foot of the King Philip player. So it looks like we just had a substitution in number 10, pardon me. Number 10, Grady Sullivan. Grady Sullivan, sophomore, in for Colin. So first substitution of the season into midfield. Grady's controlling that across. Tried to knock that ahead to Aiden, it looked like. Tommy's going to be able to step up on this and swing it around. Danny, tough first touch. The wet field is it looks sunny now, but that turf is wet. That is going to just accelerate anything coming hard across the field. Timing is critical when that happens. Good step there from Evan. Great read. Number 9 was put pressure in the goal there. And there's an example of maybe a slippery wet ball. So let's see. We got Aiden up front with Dillon still. Got Matt Hyland on the left midfield, Grady and Tommy in the middle, Danny on the right. And then we've got Skolzy, Michael Caridi, Michael Jeans, and Evan back at sweeper. And here comes Matt Hyland. Let's see. He takes on 21, gets around him, has an opportunity potentially to get this across, and he wins a corner. All right, well done, Matt. All right, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce our camera person today. For the first time ever in the history of the Elsner family production, so to speak, Karen Elsner is behind the camera tonight. You've probably noticed the improved quality already. Oh, that was a nicely driven ball there in from, I think that was Tommy that took that. Now ahead, Mansfield got players back. Again, 2-on-5, but that ball is, well done. Eric came out and intercepted that. Had he let that go, number 12 was had a step and was looking at the goal. Again, reading the play, so important, right? Anticipating, reading, thinking ahead of the ball. So So it looks like to me King Philip has some counter, and even if we've got numbers back, they're a little dangerous on that. So Mansfield's going to have to keep track of that coming through the midfield. We've had good pressure down the flanks so far. King Philip tends to be going up the gut there on their counter. So some things to think about as the game goes on. That's a ball ahead, and Evan splits those defenders. Perfect placement, perfect timing. And Matt Hyland never says never. That's Matt. Good pressure. And back in comes Dylan, working hard on number 12, whoever he is. I'm sure he is saying to himself, I got a handful here with Dylan. So he's figuring that out already. Probably figured it out in the first couple minutes. Is Ethan going to get ambitious? He was thinking about it from 25 plus out. Couldn't quite get the handle on it. Good control from Evan. That's good adjustment. Ball coming in hot, skipping on the wet turf. And again, good defensive recovery there. That's Grady keeping that defensive mindset, not letting the King Philip players get comfortable on the ball. And I think we got a timeout. Looks like Coach Sheridan has called a timeout. 2 minutes. Not a timeout? Maybe a timeout. The clock's still running at 1:52. Maybe that's the end of the period? Okay, so we must have started. Apparently we started early. That's right, I do remember that actually. The clock had 3 minutes left, or 2.5 minutes, whatever it was, on the warm-up clock when the actual game started. And that's what happened. So we are going to pause while the players get their instructions and maybe a little water, and then we'll restart for second period. Okay, well, we are about to start the second period here. Mansfield King Philip home opener for the boys 2020 season. If you were watching already, I just did a sound check, and it may be that I was a little bit quiet, so I'm going to try and speak up some. We've got a camera here that's not new for the program, but new for me. And I'm not exactly sure how to adjust the overall volume, so we're going to try and increase that a bit so you can hear all the words of wisdom that I'm sure, there's a turn and a shot, but well wide, all the words of wisdom, soccer wisdom that I am trying to come up with here this afternoon. So sun's out, beautiful. Lights are on, though, interestingly. And we've got some clouds coming in. We may get a shower or two here again towards the end of this match, depending on how long things go. So could be a different kind of conditions. A little bit of wind, a little bit of sun, a little bit of sun, a little bit of rain. King Philip setting up here for what I think that's their second corner. I haven't really been keeping track. Second corner kick. And here's, you can see a little bit different strategy. That ball moved up to the top of the box. Knocked out. Oh, kicking around. That's when it's dangerous. Here's a quick release. Blocked. Still not out. Can't hit it. And there you go. That's what do you do with that ball that's in the air like that, right? You can't volley it. So you can see it's going to bounce around even more in the box than it might normally, until players get some more experience and a little bit more practice with game conditions when the ball's up in the air close to the goal. So, well, we called that must have been a foul there. There's an indirect kick. I thought it was over for a goal kick, but that ball knuckled out by the King Philip keeper, and that's a foul. Michael up over the back there. Here comes King Philip good solid challenge by Grady Sullivan, still out there. Yep. Looks like the lineup is still the same, other than that one substitution. Yep. So the Milford scrimmage went reasonably well. Mansfield, I think the final may have been 3-1 Milford, 2-1 or 3-1, I believe, 2-1 Milford. And it was pretty evenly played. Milford beat Franklin in their first game, the first actual league game, so they're at the moment leading the division. The other thing that's happening this season, for those of you who are watching and keeping track of things, is that there will be playoffs, but it's only going to be half of the Hockomock League. So each division is going to have its own playoff. I'm not actually sure whether it's the top 4 teams. That'd be what I would guess. So we got 5 weeks, 10 games, and then probably a week of potential playoffs would be my sense of things. It's probably on the MIAA app if you want to take a look at that. Not sure it's posted yet on the Mansfield Athletics webpage in terms of the schedule. Next week, I believe we've got, well, there are some night games coming up. I'll have to look at that schedule more closely. Few in the afternoon and a few night. Night games, of course, always a little bit different atmosphere. Fun to be under the lights, especially as the weather cools off in the fall. That's almost a dangerous mistake there from the King Philip goalie, Dylan, harassing and chasing and forcing them to make a mistake. That's what you need to do. That ball forward now through the middle again. King Philip going up the middle and then distributing to the flanks. Mansfield tended to be working it down the flanks and then putting it across to the middle so far this afternoon. Number 8. And good challenge, but still in the box, and that is rifled across. I wasn't say rifled. That is put across in front of the mouth of the goal, but luckily nobody from King Philip quite in position. Yeah, so that's definitely the theme so far, in my opinion. Mansfield working it up the wings, putting it across. That's how we're generating our pressure. King Philip counter up through the middle, and then a distribution at the end out to runners coming down the flanks. But overall, I would say fairly even. And that would be confirmed by the score so far, which is still 0-0. Not sure either team has really had a solid shot on goal. A couple opportunities, but nothing that's really tested either keeper right yet. That ball, yeah, the ball in the box bouncing up high is going to give defenders challenges for both teams and all season long. It's just an unusual situation for a defender. You normally head that ball and clear it out, but that's not going to happen this season. So here we go, set piece, and referee does not have his hand up, so this may be a direct kick. I didn't see the call. Let's see what Tommy decides to do here. Good opportunity on a set piece here for Mansfield. Tommy winds that one up and drives it into the sort of wall, and a quick rebound and knocks that one well over the bar. So in terms of league play, what's going to be happening for this season is another whistle there quick. We've got today King Philip, this week rather, King Philip home and then away. Next week, the week of the 14th, Taunton, and that is going to be away and then home, and that's another 3:45 game on next Friday. And then Attleboro the following week, Franklin the week of the 26th, wrap up the season against Milford, week of November 2nd, and then we've got the playoff But what's happening is, like I said, we're only playing, the playoff is only against the in-division teams that we're playing during the season. There's a ball skipped ahead. And luckily, skips right through to Eric. Good hands. No rebounds from him. That's what you want for a goalie. One of the first things you need is absolutely no rebounds. Nothing coming off the keeper. That one he tried to punt that for the first time today and kept it low, but gets over the touchline. So I'm also thinking that the pace of the game is a little bit different. I think that's a combination of masks and just oxygen level, getting oxygen, but also because there's not the opportunity for that long ball driven and headed forward, that kind of thing. I think that's teams are going to be adjusting to that as well. So ball movement on the ground is a good thing, in my opinion, for soccer, but it does seem like there's just a little bit. That's a good ball ahead, and Tommy gets a foot on it to keep it out of danger. And King Philip lets that go for a restart for them. But I just feel like there's a little bit of edge off the game because of the rules against excessive contact above the waist, because you can't head the ball on a driven ball forward. And then obviously wearing masks is absolutely a different kind of feel when you're out there on the field. So all things to adjust to for the players this year. So King Philip rather knocking this around. Going to switch the fields. Grady giving some good chase there, and here comes Evan again, always reading in the right place at the right time, and clears that out. So it looks like we've got Colin about ready to come in along with Aiden. And that's because I didn't notice Nate Kablik, or Kablik probably. My apologies for the family there, not knowing how to pronounce the last name. Has been in. Had a good shift. Yeah, in fact, a couple times I think I was calling Grady for some good coverage across the field, and that was actually Nate pressuring defensively. So it looks like Colin's coming in, Colin True, and apparently and Aiden coming back in. So still 0-0. Both teams trying to sort of figure each other out still. Time to switch it up a little bit. There's a good overlapping run from, or good run into space rather, from Tommy. Good pass ahead forward from Dylan. Get that penetrating run from the midfielders forward. That can throw a defense off. And looks like we're going to have another set piece here in a good position for Mansfield. So let's see what we do here. I would love to see a ball across the middle and someone let one go from top of the box. Like, for instance, Ethan with a left foot stepping in behind number 5. Nope, he's going to knock it long. And that ball is, oh my goodness, just through, past somehow. Keeper missed it. He was probably trying to punch that away and not really lost it in the lights or the sun, or just misjudged it, and then glancing or just getting past Matt. But that's a tough finish when it's coming down like that, and you're trying to volley it. Really, is what you need to do, since you can't head it. Again, different circumstances. Every other season that'd be a head ball on net. Some encouragement from Mansfield keeper Eric, trying to quicken the pace a little bit. Trying to get our Mansfield players to control and release the ball more quickly. There's Matt with some good skill right there, and just off the foot of that would be Nate. Tommy pressuring back, and here comes King Philip countering quickly. Number 9's not going to get through Evan. Well done. Simple little touch from Matt. Tommy moving to space, tries to give and go, not quite enough on it, and that's a difficult ball to handle. Interesting technique outside of the right foot, but in the conditions, that's a tough pass. Nobody seems to want this one. There it goes all the way back to the King Philip keeper. Oh, all right. Some good skill there. He could have been in trouble on that, but managed to switch directions. Ethan steps up into that, knocks it forward, and looks like Colin is on top of that. Dylan back in for Nate. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sophomores. 7 sophomores on the roster this year, which is quite a number. 31 total listed, which is that is a deep bench. So to have 25% basically of the roster, almost 25% of roster be sophomores, coaches using this, I think, also as a developmental season, which makes perfect sense to me. It's going to be short, 10 games, fun to run around, but it's going to be a very different kind of season overall, and might as well get some young guys in and get them some playing time and get ready for the coming years as well. So let's see, we've got 6 minutes left. That ball ahead and in the box. Keeper's got hands on it and good pressure there from Matt Hyland, but a foul with the contact. So 6 minutes left in the half, a little under 6 now, and both teams still searching for some kind of a rhythm that's going to get them in front of the net with a shot. Let's put it that way. We've got good rhythm on the field through midfield, some good first touches, good combination passes, good move into space, but neither team able to really take that middle third of the field and test the keeper. Couple opportunities in the last 5-6 minutes that could have been had someone been in the right place at the right time for both teams. Matt Hyland's had a couple opportunities. Again, if he could head the ball, he may have a goal by now, but tough to volley that when it's in close quarters coming down in the box. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do here. Most again, I keep talking about most years. Most years this would be a driven ball into the box. And there comes a shot potentially. And up and over the bar. And Evan has good service. He can pick his spot, put it where he wants to. So you may be seeing occasionally players pulling their mask down. That is an okay thing to do if you've got enough space between you and anybody else and you need a little mask break. My understanding of the rules. 22 going to try and shield that ball. Dylan pressing through. Keeper is going to come out and fumble it a little bit. So that has been a couple occasions now where the keeper has not been able to get purchase on the ball. So that's something that the Mansfield forwards need to be aware of. But here comes King Philip, coming right down through the middle on a counter. And number 8's going to try and turn. That's a COVID foul right there. That's what I would call that. I don't know. That was Normally that would have been, in my opinion, from what I saw, solid contact, but with the ball. So referees can't complain too much. The refs this year, I'm sure, are scratching their heads a little bit, just like coaches and players and fans might be. And we can see the fans, actually, this year. That is one bonus of COVID. You're going to be on camera. If you sit across, like we have to, sit across the field on the other side of, that's a ball in the sun. And, oh, I'm going to say that Eric tipped that up into the bar. That's the way I'm going to describe that one. That could have been well placed, floated up into the sun. Difficult to judge, but Eric got enough on it to keep it out of the net, out of the, off the frame. Another ball across the middle. Almost impossible to do anything with that, given the rules of this year. Anyway, back to the fans who are on the other side. Let's give the fans a little hello with the camera. There we go. Fantastic. So if you're coming to the game this year, you have to sit on the other side of the field. Nobody can sit on the school side in the bleachers there. But what that means is, for the first time, not the first time, some people have sat over there, but this year everyone will be sitting over there, and you'll get to see yourselves on cable TV. All right, the other thing I'm going to do now is maybe I'll wait a minute. We're under 2 minutes, and it's going to be a bit of a pace is going to quicken here probably the last couple minutes. And Evan, again, great step. Starting to really frustrate number 9 and number 8. Maddie, good physical play there to maintain possession. And that's turned up the field well by number 22. And looks like we're just going to have a little bit of time to put this ball back in play. Evan up ahead, another shoulder. And over the touchline, Michael's going to restart this one. Tommy's going to put this across the box. Let's see if we can make something happen here in the last seconds. Ethan, is going to drive that one. Ooh, looks like a little bit of a stinger there. I hope that knee works itself out. He was thinking, as all defenders do, I can drive this in from 25 yards. But that actually would have been a good opportunity had he been able to get through that defender in front of him. Here comes the counter. Evan playing hard there. That's good solid contact on the ball. And we've got to be within the closing seconds here of the half. I want to make sure that, and there's the whistle. Okay, so that's good. So end-to-end action for the first half. Both teams starting to create some more opportunities, figuring things out, working off the cobwebs or the rust for not having played much in absolute game conditions. And looks like they're trying to get their stride. So we're going to stop here, and we will resume when play continues. Okay, we're back live. Teams taking the field for the second half. I want to make a couple quick announcements. One is that if anyone's interested in being in the booth and either camera work or color commentary, let me know. I'm going to send an email out. Varsity families, there's no qualifications. There's no experience required. All you need to do is be willing to listen to yourself on cable, which sometimes can be rather surprising. So if you are, please reach out and let me know. And home games, we've got 4 more of them for the season, so more than happy to have some other people involved. In fact, it would be important to do because this will be the last year that I can do this or will be doing this. So we need to also have a development season, so to speak, for the booth. So please consider that if you would. So we're underway here, second half. Got 2 20-minute periods remaining in this first opener. And that's interesting. So they called that as a foul, even though 31 had the ball. That's a lucky call for Mansfield right there. He was behind Evan after the foul, and they called it instead of playing advantage. So that was fortunate for us there. Good little touch from number 5, chasing back and bringing that down under control. So let's see if Mansfield can pick up the intensity. Eric Sullivan from the goal was encouraging picking up the pace, not so much running faster, but more, releasing the ball more quickly. And I would agree that would be a helpful thing to do, among others. Also like to see if Mansfield could switch the fields, knocking it back and running around the defense perhaps. We've got strength down the flanks. That's been proven. We have an advantage there, so maybe we can create some more space even if they were able to switch the fields and run it through and around through the defense and switch sides. So a couple things to watch for. King Philip going up the middle a lot, so defensively that's Tommy, that's Michael Caridi, that's Evan talking to each other and trying to shut down that quick counter. And I think Mansfield's in good position here as the second half opens up. They I would say had the run of play for extended periods there in the first half, especially towards the end. So let's see if we can come out with some intensity here in the opening moments of this second half and take some advantage. Breeze is picked up. I don't know if you saw that or not. You could tell that right there with the ball just hung up. We've got some storms in the area, and we're going to get another line coming through and probably just after this varsity game is over, so the JV might get wet. But you can see it off to, King Philip here going to put that ball across. Again, difficult to handle. Finishing sometimes one of the most difficult skills really to learn and develop as a player. But anyway, the line of storms off to you can't see it in the camera right now, but one of the reasons why the lights are on, I think, is because it got dark at one point. We got some storm clouds coming around off in the distance there, and they're going to stay away from us for the half, hopefully, but it is breezy, and wind is picked up as a result. So there's a good little switch from Tommy. Nice control from Matt Highland. He knocks it ahead. Let's see if we can get a mistake here on the defender. If Aiden can pressure, he does, and he's going to win this. Still has it and gets a restart there would call it a throw-in, but it's not a throw-in, so I've switched my name for that to a restart for Mansfield. Basically a set piece. Every time the ball goes out. And we've got runners, and that ball is well in, and Danny puts it back across on a first touch. There was an opportunity. So here we go. Let's see if now this is essentially a corner kick on this restart, only 5 or 6 yards off the baseline. And that King Philip player covered 10 yards in a hurry. I think we could ask the ref for a little bit of distance on there. Yeah, and there he goes again. Same thing. He's not starting 10 yards back, so that's just a simple ask of the ref there. In the if that happens again, push him back a couple more yards. And that's a foul for a Mansfield indirect. So here we go. Let's see what we can make of this. Tommy, good looping service. And, keeper comes out. Colin almost had a foot on it. Not sure if he's calling offsides or dangerous play. I'm not sure what that was. Couldn't tell. Should have been a dangerous play. His boots weren't up. There's Scholesy coming in, pushing that forward, making the goalie work for it. Let's see if Mansfield can pressure this outlet pass. That's good. Colin gets in the way of that one. Same thing. Regroup shape. Shut down this pass up the middle. All right, force him wide. That works. There's that ball in the middle. They are trying to go in the middle, through the middle third, in the middle. And I think if we disrupt that, that's going to cause some real chaos for King Philip in the second half. So let's see if the defense can pick up on that, try and shut that down. And Michael controlling that ball, and Michael Jeans, Caridi kind of forcing that ball outside there. Number 9's got some pace. Yep, he does. And he's going to be able to put this ball not quite across. Danny Rowe coming down and working hard with Ethan. And they run that out for a Mansfield goal kick, so that's good. Good work there. Good combination defense. Oh, Evan knocks that ahead for Tommy. That's a low ball, potentially dangerous. King Philip tries to recover. Aiden gets in the way of it. There's that simple little ball through the middle. They're going to feed through number 9. I think that's what the strategy for King Philip is going to be. Yep, I think that's what we're going to see on defensively now. So that's okay. You just have to adjust and cover, and Danny and Ethan have already been talking about that. And looks like we've got a sub coming in, possibly a couple subs. And there's the knot wall that you can see there. Tommy gets in the way of that. Nice little half volley to clear that out. Dylan's got some space in front of him. And Caridi steps up and clears that one out. Restart, and they'll have another one. Looks like we've got subs coming in. Steve. Yep, Steve Saba in for Ethan Scholes, calling out, and not sure who came in there. Let me make sure we get the names right. Yep, number 10, so that's Grady Sullivan making another appearance here in the second half. Sophomore, had a good shift in the first. Here's King Philip running that simple little outlet pass. They're trying to run through the middle. A mistake, and Dylan's going to get around him. Not quite. That's the pass to shut down. Tommy and Michael need to get in sync on that one, which they have started already, but more of that. And if they shut that down, I think that's going to cause some problems for King Philip. They got number 9 out here going down the flank, but he's not going to be able to do that from their own defensive third. First touch been pretty good for the Hornets, I would say. Again, though, like we said, beginning of the second half, that quicker release, a little bit more pace on that ball between each other. Start pinging that thing around a little bit. It should open up some more opportunities. Danny Rowe sizing that one up, puts the ball ahead nicely. Aiden can't quite get the touch on that, get the handle on it. And now King Philip adjusting. Right now, look at this, coming down the flank. That's 3-4 in a row, and a ball across. Still working it down into the corner. Turn, and that's out at the top of the box. Potentially dangerous. Ball in, floated really. Easy pickup for Eric. He saw that all the way. All right, simple little rollout to Evan. Drives that one forward. Tommy over the bat, over his head. Oh, picks it up himself. Pass to himself. Beautiful. Nice outlet, nice release for Matt Highland. And he landed hard there. That hurts. Yep, he's going to be able to get up. He's going to tough that one out, but that hurts when that happens. He landed on his hip, it looks like. Yep, back. So another one of these restarts deep in, he may have called a foul, actually. It looks like he did, yep. So set piece here for Mansfield. And let's see if we can get a foot on this. That ball driven deep and long. Wind blowing hard now. Mansfield playing with the wind. Flags are mostly straight out. Mansfield going downwind at this point, so something else to keep in mind. Potentially some longer shots on goal. And shorter balls coming out from the King Philip side. So there's one of those normally probably wouldn't be called in a regular season, upper body contact. That's one of the things the referees have been instructed, and based on the MIAA rules, they got to call that. Ball back out in the middle. King Philip recovers. This is when Mansfield needs to get their shape back as quickly as possible. Guy on the ball like that gives you plenty of time to look around and reorganize, and Mansfield forces them all the way back. King Philip resetting. And here they come down the right side. And there's a little miscommunication between the defender and either the midfielder or the forward. Dylan's going to settle that. Nice first touch there from Dylan, and a beautiful ball ahead. This could be a chance for Danny Rowe. Almost. That's a good look, good run. Just again, finishing, one of the hardest things to do. Good to see Scholesy coming back in, so whatever was bothering him, he seems to have worked it out. That ball also now kicking around the box. Let's see if we can turn on it. Not quite. Connor Polinsky also in the game. Another one of the sophomores making the roster this year. If my eyes are correct from all the way across the field here, I believe so. And here we go. All right, not a bad try there. Let's test the keeper, make sure he's keeping that near post honest. But he was onto it. Here comes number 8. Yep, pace and control. That's tough right there. Simple ball ahead. Oh, not sure whether he was going for the far post or trying to pick out number 9 coming in. But that's something you got to watch out for. Somebody who can dribble, control the ball with power, move ahead forward, keep it close, and use the body. That's a tough combination. But we learned that in the first half. And boy, the clouds are looking pretty dark at the moment. Hopefully the weather forecast is right and we're not going to get rain. Here's an opportunity now for Aiden. Little miscue from the defender. Michael Jean staying with that one. Well done. Creedy tries to knock it ahead past Tommy. Tommy's going to take some space. That's a good idea right there. See that little... Tommy pushes it past the defender, and rather than try to dribble through the next one, knocks it to space wide for an opportunity forward. That's good midfield play. All right, so I can tell already it's going to be a season of lots of these set pieces between restarts off the touchline, and fouls are going to be called. Tommy's going to knock this one in. That's a great ball. Oh, right off the top of the bar is what that looked like. He's got that hooking ball that dips at the end, and that gives goalies fits. So that looks like a winner. the rest of the season in my mind from that left side of the pitch. Tommy can roll that thing in and pressure that top far corner. That's a good ball forward now. And number 13 is going to let one go, and I believe they're going to call a corner kick. Yep, off of probably Evan. Not sure, either Evan or Michael, one or the other. So that was a quick counter. Good run, good ball, good pace on that one. But defenders recovered, got a foot on it, pressured enough. And coach yelling for marking up, which I would agree is always important to do. So still end to end. And I would say that both teams in some ways getting closer to the keep. So I do not anticipate a 0-0 game here. We've got 3 minutes left in the third period. Third quarter, whatever we want to call it. And both teams could be asking for more distance. Ref's not giving it apparently, so that ball is wide. So we're seeing some communication. We're seeing some more balls, more time on the ground, I would say, for the ball, which I think overall is a good thing. Nice pressure. Danny, easy ball ahead, and that's going to be too far. Oh, but Matt Highland pressuring in, coming in. Number 12 shielded that. Restart for King Philip. Here comes number 8. He's going to give this a run and tries to knock it ahead and does, but I don't think 13's getting to that. Nope, runs out. The ball tailing away, and again, the surface is still certainly damp. Once artificial turf gets wet, it just stays slippery. Okay, time on the field now. Under 2 minutes. End of the third quarter, third period. Let's see if we can put one in here. Here's a little break. And it looks like Aiden working hard and tries to just flick that with the outside of his foot, and that's probably the one that got stepped on. Put it in the side netting, but had the goalie thinking for sure, and had beaten his man. Number 8, simple little turn, but that's a tough ball to tough angle straight ahead like that to judge the weighting and the pace. There you go, Matty Highland, good control, simple little touch, maybe an opportunity. Nope, gets away from him a little bit. And King Philip still going to get on this one, knocks it out. So restart here. So a quick restart. We might get an opportunity. Let's see if Michael Jeans can get it in. We got about 30 seconds left, and we need to get it done quickly, gentlemen, or we're going to run out of a chance here. All right, King Philip doesn't pressure. Ball ahead. Not a bad idea there, right? Test the King Philip keeper's hands. We've had a couple loose balls in the front, but he got a hold of that one. King Philip coming down here. We're down to 8 seconds roughly. So it's now or never, and that's going to do it for the third period. So this should take us to the end here. I don't think they're going to get a restart. And that is it. So we are going to come into the final 20 minutes of this match, this home opener against King Philip today. Still tied, 0-0, and we'll be back in just a minute. Ready? Go ahead. Okay, we're back. Final quarter, final 20 minutes of the opener here against King Philip. Scrimmage last week against Milford was the sort of opening play, so to speak, but this is the first game for first league game for the season, and we're only going to have league games. And it is 0-0. Weather continuing to shift and change. We've gone from sun, a little bit of rain, the very beginning of the match. Wind kicked up. Now it's kind of died off again, so things have shifted around. Lights are on, and here we go. Final 20. Let's see if Mansfield can crack the King Philip defense. We've had our opportunities, especially was increasingly so during the match here in last quarter for sure. Had a few chances. Looks like we got one. We got another player in. Yep, 18 Sagar is in up front. So we got Matt Highland playing up top. That's a change. And we've got then in midfield is Danny Rowe on the right, Tommy in the middle, along with, it looks like, Grady and Connor Polinsky, sophomores. Another good ball from Tommy. That's a deflection. Oh, that's a swing and a miss almost there from the defender. And those kind of deflections, if they're on goal, goalie has no chance. So that's a dangerous ball Tommy keeps putting in there. That low dipping ball, hooking in towards the net, tough to handle. And that ball is saved, not saved. Could have gone out for a corner, and looks like Mansfield player was trying to knock that back in quick, which could have been dangerous, but didn't quite get a hold of it. So number 8, calling his number a lot. He's obviously the King Philip connection here offensively. Great first touch from Evan, and he's able to turn that ahead. Mansfield needs to make sure they're talking and staying organized. Number 9 working on Scholesy, and that looks like referee's got his hands in the air. So let's see what that's called. He called a foul. He called a foul. Not sure what that was for. And here comes the restart. We got to turn and be ready on the near post, and that ball is I think you're trying to go far corner on that, but put it up and over. So I'm going through the lineup here still. So Tommy actually is going to take a little bit of a breather here. Looks like he hopefully didn't tweak an ankle, but he's kind of limping off. So now we've got Grady in the middle. We've got Danny Rowe in the middle. We've got Nate on the right. And Connor over on the left. So coach mixing things up here, seeing if some different combinations and different faces might be able to get something done. And that's going to run wide. Now we've got the starting 4, though, still in the back. So we got Ethan and Michael on the wings, and Evan at sweeper. Michael Caridi playing stopper. So he's mixed up the midfield and the forwards here. Trying to see if we can make something happen. Ethan pops that up and is gonna let that go out. So restart from King Philip. Oh. Conditions generally cool, dry, perfect for fall soccer. Let's see if the Hornets can get one in here. One goal at this point would likely be enough. Can never say that for sure. Here's number 8 is going to work it and trying to find 10 in the middle, but Evan sees that, knocks it clear. Pass was a little off. Ball's going to be driven across, skips through Evan, and luckily right to Michael, who had a good first touch and was able to knock that out safe. And that was a whistle. No one quite is sure what to do on the field. And yes, that was a whistle. So King Philip's going to swing this around. And there's some good pressure. That's a head. Oh. And knocked out. All right, another restart. Tommy's going to, is Tommy on? Dylan's coming in and Aiden's coming in. Highland out. And not sure who else is coming out. Let's see if Tommy is in on this. He's not at the moment, so we're not going to see another one of these services deliveries from him. Let's see if Danny can do similar work. And oh, he tries one low, skips past Aiden, and the keeper had to be alert on that one. Ethan knocks it out wide. That's going to run. So good driven ball from Danny. That could have been it. That could have skipped through. Number 8 now pressing, finding space on the flank. That is turn. Number 11 is going to knock that right back. King Philip happy to be on the right side at the moment. They may swing it around. They try to go through the middle. And they're running 8 and 9 wide now. So they are trying to, oh no, 8 still in the middle. Sorry, pardon me. So this is 20, 25 yards out maybe. Let's see what King Philip's going to do. Number 9 is going to just try and roll that one in. There's a bouncer, and could be from a dangerous spot, but got a hold of it, but far over the bar. So we are at 13 minutes. Both teams, it's been end to end. Both teams knocking on the door. Mansfield's certainly earned some opportunities. I think probably tested the King Philip keeper a little bit more than the other way around. Good read by Ethan. That's a nice little run up the middle. King Philip absolutely loves to put it through the middle and then try and run outside if they can. 8 working hard, and that cannot be a foul. Oh my gosh. All right. That one had nothing to do with COVID. That's a player losing his balance and falling down, and doesn't really matter. This is actually a tough spot to do much with, although you can't put a wall up, so that's going to make it a little bit more difficult. Let's see if they've practiced some of this. Something's happening. We got some conversation between players and the referee, and things are getting backed up, so here we go. Yeah, I take that back, actually. Because of this year's rules, not being able to have a wall makes this a very dangerous spot right here. Normally, with a wall there, most players would not have the skill to put this up and over or around a wall from this distance at the high school level. But now, with having to have the space, it opens up some chances, unfortunately. That's a deflection, but still well wide. Well, not a deflection. I thought it maybe did, but we're going to call that a goal kick. All right, we've got a substitute now. Number 4. That looks like Ridge Jardell is in. Haven't had a chance to meet him, but he's getting his first minutes as a Hornet on the pitch. So, coach going to the bench. To see if some fresh players can create an opportunity. And here we come, number 5. That's a simple ball ahead. That's going to be a left-footed shot. Skips across, but not much on it. And Eric scoops that up, smothers that. Quick little release. Nice, solid defensive play there from Michael. That's a good ball through, and but boy, I'll tell you what, Evan is always there. Good peripheral sense in terms of what's happening in the lanes. Knows where to be and how to judge that geometry and get to the ball before the striker does. That looked like a little bit of a high boot there. Shoulder forward, still kicking around. We need to get it out of here. You don't want it to be on the top of the box, and there's the favorable call in the other way. Neither of those actually made sense, but we got one and they got one. Okay, inside 10 minutes now. Let's see if Mansfield can pull this one out. We certainly have the horsepower on the field, and we've had the pressure on the goal. Let's see if we can put it in the net. Key thing right here is not to let number 8 or number 9 hurt us. We know that that's where the play is going to come through. Just got to mark them up, communicate. Good body on that play right there. And a little loose first touch there. 17 picks it up, but that's not going to help anybody. A driven ball forward on turf like this needs to be weighted differently. That's hard though. That's a tough play for any defender. Trying to move the ball forward like that. A good conversation on the field. I hear a lot of players talking with each other. That helps. Got to be able to see, but also listen to what's happening, especially as you start to get tired a little bit. Number 8 through the middle. Yep, there comes a shot. Yeah, he is. He's tough. So Friday we're going to see him again. That's the way the season's going. We're playing Wednesday. Well, not necessarily Wednesday, Friday, but we're playing the home and away against the same team in the same week. So we are going to see these guys on Friday at King Philip. That is. That's also an afternoon game. For those of you who want to bring your binoculars, you can go to the game, but you cannot go inside the the stands or the field area. So no visitors from the other away team allowed inside the stadium or whatever, however they're set up. I watched part of the Milford. I actually did watch the Milford's scrimmage last week with binoculars, standing outside of the fence. It worked. There's a floated ball in and just went right to the keeper. And that's a driven ball forward. Very difficult to do much with. Ethan handles it, knocks it away. Matty, good body there. Just give himself some space. Footwork there. Try to knock it ahead to Matty. And here comes King Philip. That ball is through now. And that's going to be trouble. And Evan, again, comes right at it. And beautiful play. Beautiful pickup there from Evan to disrupt that. That could have been a quick put in from short distance. He got all over it. Dylan, good first touch. Running down, picks his head up nicely. Tries to knock that across. Picked up from King Philip. So you can feel the energy level, and understandably, right, with 6 minutes left in the match, 0-0. Here comes Matt. I think he's going to let one go left foot. He does. Right at the keeper. Good strike, though. That's what we need to do. Get the ball on frame. Make the keeper do his work. And if there's a rebound or something else, then we can jump on it. That ball deflected and now going to be put forward quickly on the counter. Eric out of the goal. And we got a foul called. I think that's going to be this contact above the waist rule. So here we go. We got some subs coming in. Looks like Tommy and I'm thinking that is Grady coming in. So coach going after this one. That ball into the box, but Ridge Jardell can't quite catch up to that one. I don't think anyone could have, really, no matter how fast you are. That was had some pace going away. And looks like we're making some switches here. Grady's coming in midfield. Highland's going to stay up top with Aiden. And not sure who came out exactly. There's another ball from Tommy. There's King Philip trying to go up the middle. That is their game plan, clearly. And that's going to run out. So we're inside. We're approaching 4 minutes here. 4 minutes, 0-0. First game of the 2020 season for the Mansfield boys soccer team. It's been good. A lot of action. Different rules with COVID this year. Kept the ball on the ground more. Players adjusting to that. Mansfield defense is risen up against some challenges from their number 8 and number 9 during the course of the game. We've had some good opportunities in and around the box. Haven't quite been able to convert. Here comes Dylan, going to put on some pace, and that's going to be a corner kick. Let's see who's going to set up for this one. Danny and Ethan coming together here, and we are approaching 3 minutes. We've got a lot of runners coming now into the box, driven, and that could be it right there. Yes, it is. Beautifully done. Matt Highland, absolutely. You give him a yard in the box with a touch, and look out. He is going to have the composure, and he is going to put that ball away. Buried it right in the corner. No chance for the keeper. Beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. So, and I'm not sure what's happening here. Coach on the field. Timeout. We got a player hurt. Yes, I'm sorry. I did not see that. We got a Mansfield player in the corner. I have no idea what happened there. But coach coming across and the trainer out. And I'm trying to get a read on who that is, actually. Obviously a little bit of concern right now. Never like to see a player down and stay down. So they're trying to sort out what's happening here. And Ethan is up. But that knee is giving him some problems, it looks like, today. So he's walking it off and walking it through. And it looks like he's probably done for the last couple minutes here of the day. I would suggest that because he needs to make sure that doesn't get any worse. You don't want to have an injury, a nagging injury, keep you out any more than you need to. So no point in pushing it. And he is making his way over to the sidelines under his own power, which is good. And in the game for Ethan is Adam Elsner, his first minutes of his senior year. Number 9 is going to be the challenge. So the question is, can Mansfield shut down number 8 and number 9 for the next 2 minutes and 47 seconds? And that's one way to do it. Just take your time now on the restart. No rush. Got to have a lot of conversation here between the 4 defenders and the midfielders. Just keep your shape. Don't let them get behind you. Have confidence in Sully in the goal, which everybody does. And they have every reason to think they can finish this game up 1-0, which is pretty much what I predicted it would be about a half an hour ago or more. Simple little turn. And number 9 is moved back into a midfield position now. They've pushed 10 up. That's interesting. That's going to be a handball called. So there's a shoulder that was a little bit too much of an arm. Key thing here, no head balls. They're going to loft it through. Everybody's got to get on it. That's a tough ball right there. Very, very tough ball. Oh, saved at the goal line. Still kicking around, still loose. Outside now, number 7 is going to cover that and still has control of it. This is dangerous times here, dangerous spaces. Mansfield, there you go, clear it out of bounds, settle things down. Now regroup, get some shape. Inside 2 minutes. Down to about 1:20 maybe, roughly. Time on the field. Mansfield up 1-0. End of the first home match. Number 13, that's it, just keep them there. Well done. That's a Mansfield restart is what it looks like. Went our way. Michael Jeans, we can take our time. So some late heroics back by Matt Hyland. A quick touch in the box and just a shot nicely placed, buried into the corner. Put us up 1-0 just a couple minutes ago. And Evan's going to knock this ball forward, eat up some clock. We're down now well inside a minute. Let's just keep King Philip on their end, and we should be able to run this one out. Yep, just push them back, make them force it around. There you go, up in the air. Well done. Just slow it down. All right. Quick, we got to make sure we don't have a counter here. Number 9, dangerous. Puts it across. Cleared by Evan. Good control from 17. That's tough to do right there. And we are down now. Should be closing seconds here. Yep, I expect a whistle any second. There's a long ball in, and let's see if Eric can grab this. He does. And my guess is we're going to see the referees looking at their watches in just a second. We got time on the field. Eric doing a good job. Sully just kind of settling things down, chewing up a couple more seconds. And that is it. Whistle, game over. Mansfield wins the 2020 home opener. 1-0 against King Philip. A tightly played match, frankly. Both teams had some opportunities. Mansfield capitalized late to get ahead, and they were able to hold off some challenges there in the last just couple 3 minutes from King Philip. So a great win to start off the season. We're going to see these guys on Friday, and that'll be away also at 3:45. And when I say we're going to see them, the team's going to see them. And if you want to see them, like I said, you've got to unfortunately stay outside the stadium due to the COVID restrictions. But a great start. Congratulations to the Mansfield Hornets in opening up their 2020 season with a win. And we are going to watch them take the congratulatory handshake. Actually, I'm not sure whether they're even doing that. King Philip's lined up. Mansfield looking like maybe that's not what we're doing. And I don't think in these times maybe that is the case. They're going to come running across, and the fans are on the other side, so we'll see how we do that. But maybe we'll get a clap from the fans on the other side of the stadium. We'll give them a clap from the booth. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. And with that, we will sign off, and we'll see you next home game against Taunton Friday, October 16th. That is a home game at 3:45. Please remember, if you want to be in the booth or run the camera, let me know. I'm going to send an email out. Anyone is welcome. We need some new faces up here in the booth as well. Have a good evening, and again, congratulations to the team. Well done.